Hello friends! If you follow me on Instagram, then you already know that in order to prepare for Gladiator 2, I watched Gladiator a few months ago. Not for the first time, at least I'm pretty sure I've seen the movie before, or it was just easy to follow. Anyway, I think my honey and I ended up watching it over 2 days, not because the movie was long. I mean, it is a long movie. I just think we were both tired from work and all of that stuff. Anyway, I actually ended up really liking the movie. I think the acting is fantastic, and even if the story isn't the most complex, I really enjoyed it. So, how does the sequel hold up? Hey there, movie lovers. Welcome back. It's your movie buddy here, ready to talk about the latest movie I watched. Whether you're a longtime subscriber or a follower, or you're hanging out with me for the first time, I am thrilled to have you here. If you're looking for detailed plot breakdowns, you won't find them here, but stick around for my spoiler-free thoughts and honest opinions on the latest film I watched in theaters. As always, if you're watching on YouTube, you can check out the timestamps in the description below to jump straight to the sections that you're most interested in. I have less than usual because I did edit down my script in an attempt to make my videos shorter, but there are still plenty of moments that you can jump to if you want. New releases drop every Friday, so hit that subscribe button on YouTube and follow on Spotify to stay updated. With that all out of the way, grab your popcorn, get comfortable, and let's get into today's episode on Gladiator 2. Years after witnessing the death of Maximus at the hands of his uncle, Lucius must enter the Colosseum after the powerful emperors of Rome conquered his home. With rage in his heart and the future of the empire at stake, he looks to the past to find the strength and honor needed to return the glory of Rome to its people. Lucius is forced to step up to the plate, and Gladiator 2 explores themes of political corruption, the cyclical nature of violence, personal identity, grappling with legacy, honor amidst chaos, and resilience against unjust powers, all within a decaying Roman Empire. There's always quite a few ideas that we can pick from, and I always try to focus on one thing as best I can. I'm going with political corruption. I don't think I've had the chance to talk to you guys about this before, but I like films and TV shows that deal with politics, but in a Star Wars or The Boys type way. I think it's fascinating, and I really enjoyed seeing more of it in this movie. How it seeps into everything from the new characters, returning characters, the people, and the empire. Next, let's talk about the good, the bad, and then we'll get into my final thoughts. Talking about what works in the movie, I actually like the story. I think the politics sharply woven into the story is really immersive. I really like shifting the focus to Lucius and the themes of honor, vengeance, and redemption. Yes, we're treading familiar ground, but I didn't really mind that too much. The story is engaging and it has its impactful moments. I will say, the trailers gave us a lot. Too much. And you can easily put the pieces together and start to map the movie out. That said, I knew what was going to happen, but Gladiator 2 still managed to pull the rug out from under me. Now, we absolutely need to talk about the acting. I love the new characters and the actors that bring them to life. You guys already know I like Denzel Washington, and as Maximus, he brought such a commanding presence to the film. His performance is fantastic. He grabs your attention with a focused, magnetic intensity. Paul Mescal is great. I think he did pretty good, especially considering he's stepping into some big shoes as the lead character. As Lucius, I think he's pretty likable. I did get frustrated with him at some point in the movie, but I do be really getting into movies. Pedro Pascal, one of my favorites, as General Acacius, he leaves a lasting impression, and it's not just because he's Pedro Pascal, but there's a charisma and depth from the character that totally caught me by surprise. Connie Nielsen reprises her role as Lucilla, and she is a dream. This is another actress that brings presence to every scene she's in. I love that her character takes even more action, and I love to see her connections with other characters in the story. Every moment we see her, she embodies strength and honor. Joseph Quinn and Fred Hechinger as Emperors Geta and Caracalla respectively. Wild, crazy, unhinged, and I love it. I think the two both did a fantastic job with the characters. They stand out, and what I really love about their performances is the fact that you know they're unhinged while ruling over a very delicate empire. It was like waiting for the other shoe to drop constantly. I did not mean to go on and on about the acting, so let's get into some criticisms about the movie and I'll share my thoughts. I should not be surprised, but here I am, surprised. People did not like the historical inaccuracies. Now, I don't know much about the Roman Empire and I am not going to pretend that I do. So to me, I don't mind this at all. There could have been aliens and a laser beam from the moon. I still would have been entertained. Getting back on track, I read a critique that said, quote, "The film portrays gladiators riding rhinoceroses and engaging with sharks during naval battles in the Colosseum. While Romans did feature exotic animals like rhinoceroses in arena spectacle, there is no historical evidence of gladiators riding them. Additionally, although the Colosseum was occasionally flooded for staged naval battles, the inclusion of sharks is purely fictional," end quote. I mean, I think big man on rhino, cool, right? Sharks attack big man is cool, right? I think these elements were visually interesting and were some standout moments. To be honest, though, they really stood out because the CGI was so-so, but really because of how these moments impacted the story and the characters. You don't have to agree with me, but if Ken put big man on rhino and put shark attack, why not? I also found another critique that took issue with the fact that the film, quote, "takes liberties with historical figures, timelines, and relationships," end quote. They go on to say that, quote, "Lucius Verus, depicted as a central character, died young before Emperor Commodus's reign, making his storyline in the film fictional. Additionally, the portrayal of Maximus as a former slave and gladiator mentor is inaccurate. Historically, he was a Praetorian prefect who became emperor after assassinating Caracalla," end quote. I think if you're into the history, then yeah, these critiques are totally valid. But personally, as a moviegoer, this did not impact my movie watching experience at all. Now let's wrap up with my final thoughts on the movie. After discussing its key elements, the real question remains, is it worth your time? In my opinion, I think if you enjoyed Gladiator, then this movie is at least worth watching. I do think the original is better, and I feel like it reaches emotional depth overall that Gladiator 2 doesn't quite catch. If you did not like Gladiator, or if you're not interested in Gladiator, this movie isn't going to change your mind. For the girlies, the guys are there. Anyway, I think the trailer showed way too much, but let's be real, when don't they? I think if you watch the trailers and you're interested, obviously, watch the movie if you haven't already. If you watch the trailers but you're still on the fence, I think if you like the politics and some twists thrown in, definitely check it out. I found an article online by Slate that says, quote, "At heart, Gladiator 2 is more a drama of palace intrigue than it is an action movie, even if Scott serves up a Roman banquet-sized surfeit of sword clashing, shield smashing, and helmet bashing," end quote. Gladiator 2 low-key reminded me of last year's The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, in that the story isn't about the arena. Gladiator 2 isn't about all the blood and swords, it's about the characters, and again, the politics, which it was always about that. I just think the Colosseum moments aren't as impactful as they were in Gladiator. But in Gladiator 2, I think there were maybe a couple of moments that I really liked and that stood out to me. Also, they should have left Denzel's kiss in the movie. All right, movie fans, before we get into the usual outro, let's talk about what's coming up next. It's been a minute. I haven't posted a full review on YouTube since Smile 2 back in October. Full transparency, I did see Venom: The Last Dance. It had some good moments. It was silly, goofy fun, but after that, I didn't watch anything until Twisters, and I did do a podcast exclusive episode for that one back in November. I'll leave a link in the description below if you'd like to listen to that episode. And I'm a week late with this one, but hey, it's holiday season. I've been working a lot and I am tired. But we're back on track because I also dropped a video sharing my thoughts on Wicked Part 1. Was it everything I thought it would be and more? Yes. Is it a long movie? Yes. Would I have sat through another 2 hours and 40 minutes? Yes. We're going to talk about all of that and more. If you're on YouTube, you can click the link in the top right corner of this video to watch that episode. And if you're listening on Spotify, that episode is available for you as well. Last time we talked, if you caught the podcast exclusive episode on Twisters, then you know I said December is packed and I cannot wait. I'm getting a bit of a break because I have tickets for Solo Leveling Reawakening. Do we need to see that in theaters and pay money for it? Probably not. We could just wait for season 2 to come out next year, but anyway, after that is Kraven the Hunter. I saw a trailer where some guy was flung into a tree and was absolutely obliterated. I'm in. I just want to see that R rating, all the blood, all the violence. After that is Sonic 3, Keanu as Shadow. That is all. After that is Nosferatu, and I cannot express the building excitement for this movie. I'm not sure about Lily Rose Depp, to be perfectly honest. I've never seen her in anything, but from what I've heard, she's incredible in this movie, and I cannot wait. In the Twisters podcast exclusive episode, I also said that December is a rough month for me mentally and emotionally, so I will do my best to stay on track. There is so much good stuff on the way, so stay tuned for all of those episodes. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone who has stuck around with me to the end of today's episode. Let me know what you thought of Gladiator 2. Where do you stand on fiction films that are set in some type of reality being historically accurate? What did you think about the storyline in all of those flashbacks? Oh my gosh, the flashbacks. Did we need them? Like all of them. Your feedback is always appreciated, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section on YouTube, or if you're on the Spotify app, swipe up and let me know what you're thinking. I would love to hear from you guys, so let's get the conversation going. If you are enjoying the movie talk on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell to stay updated on all the exciting content coming this month. If you enjoy on-the-go listening, then the podcast is for you. Follow over on Spotify so you don't miss out on those spoiler-filled exclusives. Tune in every Friday for new episodes, and hey, if you're on Instagram, follow me at a.rocket.review for more updates. Your support, whether on YouTube, the podcast, or Instagram, really helps this community grow, and it means so much to me, and I cannot thank you enough. Until next time, spread positivity, be safe, take care of yourself, and happy movie watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.